Hey everyone, it's Jared with Kanto Shark. Today I'm showing off some of our graded game inventory, and that brings me to, we accept graded games at kantoshark.com right now. We have Pokemon FireRed, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Snap, some other greats that you're going to remember from being a kid. Let's kick it off though with something super unique and interesting, which is WADA, which is now owned by PSA, grades sealed CDs. So this is the original soundtrack to the first Pokemon movie, still sealed. It even has the NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera sticker on the front. So that just shows that those were the key artists back in the day, and this is something that you'd be able to buy at like Best Buy or Target and be able to enjoy. But who knew that a grading company would come in and start grading these one day? Pretty interesting stuff. But let's kick it off with something that I think a lot of you will enjoy, one of my personal favorites, which is Pokemon Emerald. It's a 9.4 with an A+ seal with an H seam, which we'll have more informational videos about how to identify different seams, but this one's going to be available here very soon on Kanto Shark. We only take on graded Pokemon games. We're very Pokemon specific, so you're not going to see any other items sold on kantoshark.com that's not Pokemon related. Now, we only accept items over $5,000. However, with graded games, sometimes they can be less than that, 1, 2, 3 grand, and those are things that we would take on and make an exception for. So we have Pokemon Emerald Gen 3, star of the show. These are really hard to find, and arguably everyone that collects Pokemon TCG, we've spent way more time on the games than the cards. So it's interesting to me that it shows me that these are undervalued right now, in my opinion, that some of these games are less than $5,000 sealed, when a lot of the cards that come from that same era are hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, and then on top of that, the pop report is incredibly low on these. There's just not many left sealed out there. And so something to take a look at. We're investing a lot of money into them personally with the business, and then also we want them on consignment and we'll sell them for you. Next up, we got Pokemon SoulSilver, the best remake of any game ever done. Pokemon SoulSilver nailed it. It follows Kanto and Johto regions, and having it to be able to replay in a little bit better graphics and having them iron out all the glitches in the original game, this one came into perfection. Sealed, it's a 9.8 A++ seal. So pretty staggering grades on some of these. Then we have Pokemon Snap, 9.0 A++ seal. I probably spent more time on this one than the TCG, which is crazy. This was one of my favorite games growing up on N64, and here it is sealed. One of the cool stories about this one is back in 2019, before Kanto Shark even existed, I bought a Pokemon Snap sealed for either $50 or $75, and then during COVID sold it for around $1,700. So just to go to show like the possibilities inside graded video games and even just raw sealed games and grading them is pretty exponential. So Pokemon Snap, one of the greatest Pokemon games ever released. And then we'll save the best for last, which you can probably see this one, but this one is already currently listed. It's the player's choice version of Pokemon FireRed. And this is a remake of Pokemon Red. It's a 9.6 box grade with an A+ seal, H seam. If you take a look at the other Pokemon FireRed we have here, it's the non-player's choice. This one's a little bit more rare. It's one of the original prints. It's a 9.4 A+ seal. And if you take a look at the coloring difference and the placement on the front of the boxes, you can begin to see some of the differences. There's also a couple differences you can see on the back of each of these graded games. So we have Pokemon FireRed, 2 different variants. One's already available, one will be available very soon. And then let's put these here, and then save the best for last. It's Pokemon Red. It's print number 2, 9.4 box, A++ seal with the H seam. This is the most popular Pokemon game. This is the grail of Pokemon games, and this is something that should be in everyone's collection if you consider yourself a Pokemon card collector, at least in my opinion. Now, kick it over though, these are all graded video games. We also will be carrying some empty booster boxes. Just kidding, we're not carrying Evolving Skies booster box. But those actually sell for how much? Like $75. So yeah, empty Evolving Skies boxes sell for $75. So send them all here, we'll take them for free. But no, on some of these boxes, it's actually worth it. Like, try finding a first edition base box that's mint. We will begin selling some of these items. We view these as something that's very collectible and also investable. These boxes right now go for between $1 and $2 grand, and they're gonna continue to grow as the boxes continue to get ripped and then trashed because a lot of people don't keep them. So keep an eye out for those. Again, total joke, we're not gonna carry Evolving Skies booster box, empty ones that is, but we will carry vintage boxes like this in the future as we get them consigned because they're starting to make sense in terms of collectability. So guys, if you wanna consign any games like this, Pokemon related, or even your vintage boxes that maybe you're a streamer and you rip some boxes, you have them empty and you wanna sell them, get some capital back out of it, send them to Kanto Shark. We'll take them, we'll advertise it for you, and we'll get it sold. If you want to contact about consultation for consignment, then book a call with us and let's chat about it. That'll be kantoshark.com/sell. We look forward to doing some business with you.